Hello everyone. My name is Emily Underwood, and this is my telebehavioral health reflection for CM 597 telebehavioral health course at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. So the first question is what did I expect to learn in this course, and how did my expectations and outcomes align or differ? I think that this course pretty much lived up to my expectations, though there were several aspects that I hadn't actually expected to cover in the course, um, such as creating a telehealth consent form, which I think was incredibly useful, particularly if I decide to go into private practice. But um, even then, it's nice just to have come up with my own like expectations to be able to give to clients, even as an intern. So it's practical for everyday use right now. I also had I hadn't put much thought into the laws and regulations and like alternative ways to utilize telehealth. So that was informative and practical. In Unit 4, we signed up for 2 telehealth sessions. I attended the live labs on Wednesday, January 25th, and Saturday, February 18th. I enjoyed both of them. They are both incredibly informative. For the first one, my takeaways were um, implementing the choke rule. So ensuring a client's safety by knowing their specific location. And I've actually already used that in as an intern in practicum. So that was definitely a super useful tool. Platforms such as Therapy Notes and Simple Practice that have HIPAA compliant security features for telehealth will be super important, especially if I'm like out on my own and I need to utilize a platform that's not something that's already in like an agency that I work for. And also life work balance and setting boundaries for ourselves. And this is something that I recognize will just be ongoing and something that's like always a work in progress, as like my life and my needs and my wants change. Um, then in the second live lab, we talked a lot about different like ethical nuances, which I hadn't really considered. And I guess I just hadn't really thought about how often they would come up. And this is for both telehealth and in person, but we've always been told if you have a question, ask your get supervision, ask your supervisor, which is a good source of information, but it also is comforting for me to know that I can always contact the Ohio board for any questions that I have, and they're a great resource. And then also just regarding like note taking, being detailed, especially with any ethical dilemmas in order to protect my license, and just kind of going forward with an idea that if it wasn't documented, it didn't happen. Because if I don't document what I did, what actions I took, then there's no way to prove what I did if I didn't put it in the note. The telebehavioral health competency screening, I took that, and did my results change as a result of this course? Yes, particularly on the ethical and legal considerations, the screening of clients. I hadn't really thought about that prior to this class. So just not only for like self-harm and risk assessment, but also just like technology competency wasn't really something that I'd thought about. And then informed consent. 3 SMART goals. 1, I will modify my telehealth consent form to include a section regarding unauthorized persons, as well as the client's right to engage or refuse in teletherapy. And I will do that by March 31st of this year. My second SMART goal is I will check my digital footprint monthly for the next 12 months to monitor how Experian is affecting my online presence. And 3, the ACA website offers telehealth webinars and trainings. So I'll complete 4 trainings and or webinars over the next 12 months. Identify at least one continuing education resource. As I just mentioned, the ACA has telehealth CEs and trainings, so that will be a good resource to continue developing and maintaining my telehealth competence. One ethical consideration related to telebehavioral health, I think probably the most important ethical considerations will be like confidentiality and compliance. Those are always a concern, but I feel like especially in telehealth, we have less control over the environment regarding the client's environment. So I have already had in my practicum a client who wanted to switch over to telehealth because she was not able to make it into the office. And when I called her on telehealth, she was actually in the car with somebody else. She has like a driver because she is disabled. So she has like a company that drives her. So it was like a stranger kind of essentially in the car with her. She was driving, so it would be very distracting. And I mean, whatever she's saying, a stranger can hear. She was also going to be like going somewhere else where there was going to be a bunch of people. So she was not going to be in a private space. And she was in the car. So I had to also confirm where, make sure that she was in the state of Ohio, because if she was outside of the state, then I would not be like, that would be against the Ohio state laws. So I ended up requesting that we reschedule to a time when she was going to be in a private environment and less distracted. 3 takeaways from the course overall. I think the laws are something that are, I mean, obviously going to be super important, and just knowing that I can contact the Ohio board for any ethical dilemmas that I might have. I'll definitely be utilizing that. Just knowing that I can use creativity to adapt interventions from in-person to telehealth. It's not really something that I'd thought about previously, but I like the idea of being able to adapt some of these interventions in telehealth and use some creativity in doing that. And then 3, setting boundaries, not only in like phone and just general communication, but through social media as well. I already feel like just like in my personal life with text messages or anything like that, there is this almost like it feels like an immediacy, like a almost can become like a burden or like a weight on your shoulders if you know that you have messages from someone and you're busy. Like if I'm at work and I can't respond, or I'm shuffling my kids from activity to activity and I'm in the car and I'm not using my phone, obviously, while I'm driving. So seeing that can kind of create a little bit of like this like immediacy, like I need to respond immediately. And it's something that I definitely struggle with in just my personal life. So I think that it's definitely something that I'm going to have to set boundaries with clients, because with the ease of access and using technology, it also comes with the cost of clients being able to contact me at any and all hours of the day, even on weekends and stuff like that. And so I think that that's going to be a really tough one for me, but something that I'm definitely going to have to work on. And finally, what advice would you give to someone considering this course as a future elective course? I would say telehealth is likely here to stay, and it allows for easier access of mental health services. So it's very likely that all of us will be using it at some point in our future. So I think that having a good foundation of telehealth is beneficial, not only to us, but to our clients as well, that we're competent and we're able to deliver effective services. So I would definitely recommend this course as an elective to anyone considering it. And that is all. I really enjoyed this course and I enjoyed working with all of you. So good luck in your future.